Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. You are not going to believe this, guys. I recorded a whole video. And then I'm sitting by my window, so the sun is coming in. I don't know how the reflection worked. When I looked at it, it was so dark. So I'm recording for the second time. Those are the problems and the tales of a YouTuber. So welcome to my channel. I hope this is going to be worth it. So just to motivate me, please give this video a thumbs up. Help me out, guys. I'm trying to help you. So it's a sunny Sunday. If you hear any noise coming through this video, I have my windows and patio open. So I live not too far from the road. So there's cars moving around. So I hope your Sunday, or I hope your day is beautiful whenever the day that I'll post this. I hope you're having a good day. I'm running my laundry. Good thing about here is there's washing machines in all homes. It's standard, so I just throw it in there. That's the good part. The sad part for me is I hate folding clothes. I could pay anybody. I could pay just any amount for anybody to help me out with folding clothes. So enough of the small talk. Let's get to the point. So in this video today, I want to show you how an I-20 looks like. And let's talk about what it entails and the details that you need to know about an I-20. What is an I-20? So let's start by, before I show you what an I-20 is, I would like to say an I-20 is a document that you're going to be given by the school. If you're coming here as a student, you will be required to have an I-20 to take it to the embassy. So after you're given an acceptance letter, you're going to be given an I-20. An I-20 will have details of how much you're going to pay, your name, and immigration information that the American embassy is going to need, and that the school is going to be using to track you once you're here. So let's get to the form before I talk too much. So 2020, let's go 2020. See, when you come here, you get influenced by the T's. You know, Americans sometimes pronounce their T's as if it's a D, a very soft D. So, okay, so let's go. So what's an I-20 and what does it have? Let's go there, guys. Let's go there. Okay, so this is how an I-20 looks like, guys. So this is how it looks like. So it is a document that is, it's actually not, the school gives it to you. Can somebody just give you an I-20? Let me ask that question. You know, before I share, let me talk. Okay, so before I came to the US, I used to know people who had come here, and whenever I'd meet them, I remember actually meeting one Mrs. Kipkano, and I'll tell her, oh, can you get me an I-20? Or I'd say, oh, sunitafutie visa, meaning, can you look for a visa for me? And one day she told me, no, it's not something that I can do. And I didn't believe her because she was very well connected. I am like, she should be able to get me a visa. I was so, you know, I didn't know. So that's why I'm having this conversation, so that you don't, can somebody, let me answer that question. Can somebody just give you an I-20? No. So this is an official document. It has to come from a designated service officer from a school. So a designated service officer is someone who represents the school and is in communication with the immigration department. So let's go to the form finally. So no, nobody can just help you get an I-20 in that sense. There's a lot of things that you need to input yourself. They can assist you with the requirements that is needed for you to get an I-20, but they cannot just, like me, I cannot just print an I-20 and mail it to you. So no, so you cannot ask somebody that. So once you go through the forms, you'll understand why nobody can just give you an I-20. It has to come officially from the school. Okay, so let's go back. to that form. Okay, here it is. So it is officially a Department of Homeland Security form. So Department of Homeland Security is a big body that has little departments. One of the departments that is supervised by the Department of Homeland Security is the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So if you hear these people here, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they are the people who are going to possibly knock at your door. Customs enforcement officer, they can knock at your door, because in this I-20, the school will always report your address where you live in America while you're a student. So the customs enforcement will be notified if you're not following the instructions, or if you're not staying within status, they'll be notified. The school officer will notify immigration. And these customs enforcement officers can come and knock at your door and tell you to get out of the country because you are violating your conditions, or you're violating your status. So why is it called an I-20? I don't mean to be negative, guys, but in this country, they take care of their country so much in the sense of immigration. In a way they do, and in a way they don't. So why is it called an I-20? So immigration, they have different forms, and they use a letter and a number to identify different kind of forms. So for a student, it is called an I-20. If you want to file for a green card, it is called, their form is called I-30. If you want to apply to become a citizen, the form is called, I think it's called I-485. So why I-20? I-20 is just a designation for this form to identify the form by immigration. Okay, so let's go back. And what is F1? So when you come here, guys, as a student, your visa status is F1. You see that F1 here? So F1 is a visa type. So students have two visa types. There's F1 and there's M1. F1 is if you're taking courses that are longer, they'll give you an F1. So you can take associate degree, we've talked about that, which is mostly community colleges, so 2 years, 2.5 years. Or if you're taking a bachelor's degree, which can take up to 5 years, depending on what course you're taking. Or you could be taking your master's degree, which mostly in this country takes 2 years. It can take up to 3 years, depending on what field it is. Or you could take your doctorate, which is 4 to 5 years, depending on what course again. So F1 student, F1 status, F1 student is for courses that take longer. M1 is for vocational. It's short courses, like 6 months, maybe even 1 year. You'll be given M1. You'll be given an M1 visa. So we'll talk about that someday. So for you, I believe I'm talking to F1, potential F1 students. So if you see your visa will be, okay, so your visa, when you go to the embassy, they'll give you an F1 student visa. So why is it called F1? Again, it's the same administrative purposes. If you come here as a visitor or a tourist or a business on business purposes, you get a visa called B1 or B2. So they just name them based on letters and numbers. There's also a visa called J1 and J2. There's one called K1. And for you, if you have dependents, if you come on an F1 on a student visa, your family, you can come here with your family. And your family members, your first family, meaning your children and your spouse. So your children and your spouse, and I'm looking at my I-20 that I got. I came here as a student, but it's been a long time ago. So your family or your dependents, they're going to call them dependents, their visa is going to be called F2. So they're going to be F2. So there you go. So I hope you understand that. I just wanted to explain. And we'll talk about different types of visa. There's so much to cover in future content. So I hope you will stick around to learn different types. I'll talk about fiancé visa. I'll talk about tourist visa. We'll talk about that in future. But for right now, we're going to concentrate on F1 visa, which is student visa. So let's concentrate on that for right now. Okay, so let's go back to the form. So, okay, so how does it look like? It looks like this. So in the I-20, you will be given this number called service ID number. So this is a number that immigration will identify you with. This number is your number. When they type in the number, it's gonna pop, your name is gonna pop up. So over here is your name. It's gonna have your country of birth, passport name. So this information is all entered by the school designated officer, and it's based on the information that you give them. So can you get a visa? Can you get an I-20 without a passport? No, you need a passport before you get an I-20. So when you're getting organized to get an I-20 to come here, I'd say one of the first steps you should take is get a passport, your passport, because the information on the passport is going to be on your I-20. Okay, so let's see what else is in this I-20. So your personal information, and then it's going to have the school information and the address of the school. And it's going to have what is very important, the school official to contact upon arrival. Guys, when you come here, you will have to report to the school. And we'll talk about, in my next video, we'll talk about regulations and the benefits, what you can do and what you cannot do when you have an F1 visa. So when you come here, you have to report to the school. So the information has to be on the I-20, and it's shown over here. Again, I keep switching, guys, so that you can see me and see the form. Okay, so it's gonna have the school official to contact upon arrival, and then it's gonna have the kind of degree you're coming to do. So education level for this one is just an example, has a doctorate, and then it has your major. What is your major? What field you're gonna be pursuing? Some people can take a double major, and I see that here. There's a major number 1 and major number 2. Props to you all who love school like that. Okay, and then it's gonna have the start of class date and the program when it ends. So why is that important? It's important because that's how the visa consular is going to determine how long your visa is going to last. And also, it's going to determine when they can give you the visa. So I think you can, as a student, you cannot come here if your visa is being issued 6 months in advance. Actually, you're not allowed. I don't know, I have to research. You can't just come here 6 months without going to school and chill. I think they have conditions that they'll give you a visa. It has to be 1 month in advance. But that information on the I-20 will help the consular officer to determine when to issue that visa and how long your visa should be, depending on the length of your excuse me, the length of your education. The next thing, guys, is so important. Everything is important, but I just need to say how important it is. So the estimated average cost for your schooling. So for this one, they're showing an example. It is 9 months. So if it is 4 years, it's going to show 4 years. If it's 10 years, I doubt it's ever 10 years. I think probably the highest will be 6 years. It's going to show how much, and then it's going to show the cost, how much it is, how much it's going to cost. And then this part over here, opposite, where how much it's going to cost, is student funding for the duration of your course. So it has personal funds. How much will you have to foot For the example here, it's saying 0. So this person in this I-20 has 0 cost. They're getting a fully funded scholarship. If you see scholarship and research assistantship, total $40,000, lucky person, right? And then funds from another source, nothing, they're just getting fully funded scholarship. So this part is important. Why is this part, the student funding part, important? It's important because, oh, the sun is coming and I'm sweating, guys, excuse me. So it's important because this is how the consular will determine whether to give you a visa or not. So if your statement is less than the amount showing on the cost in the I-20, then that's just one reason for denial. So pay attention what is on that part, on this part. Pay attention on what is on this part and carry a statement that is not less than the amount that is showing as total. So for the community colleges that I've been talking about, it's going to be between 15,000 to 20,000. And the consular officer needs to know that you're going to come here and not be what they call a public charge. No, they don't want you to come here in America and start begging, start disturbing the Americans. So they are protecting their citizens from you being a burden to the society. So they have to check whether you can afford to take care of yourself. So that's the important part. Make sure guys, when you get your I-20, check over here and check your statement. It has to be more than what is stated over here. Otherwise, that will be one reason for the consular officer to deny you a visa. So that's how an I-20 looks like, guys. Now you know you cannot just ask somebody to send you an I-20 because it has, before you get an I-20, the school will have asked you so many things. Bank statement, TOEFL. Did I talk about English proficiency? Yeah. I forgot that, did I? So in here, guys, in this over here, it's gonna say English proficiency notes. So most schools, and I would say almost all schools, will require you to do what they call TOEFL, test of English as a foreign language. And they're going to state here saying student is proficient. They want to know, obviously they want to know that when you come here, you will comprehend, you will understand the contents of your course. So before you get an I-20, they'll ask you to take a TOEFL, and we will talk about that in my future videos. I will help you, show you where you can take those tests, how they look like. And if I can help in any way, I will help prepare you. So guys, before you get an I-20, you will have gone through some process. So to answer your question, if you ever ask anybody, can you just get me an I-20? They cannot just get you an I-20. They can help you with a bank statement. They can help you with probably just information, but they cannot really help you. Nobody can just like do everything for you. You have to be involved. So guys, that's about it. I try to make these videos a little shorter, but once I start, I just see a lot of information that we need to talk about. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you in my next video. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you want me to talk about in the future videos. I have ideas, but if it's something that if I just come here and talk and do videos that are not helpful to you, I feel like they will be helpful, but I need to know that that's what you want to learn. So I'll see you in my next video. Until then, kwaheri. Thanks for tuning in. You are awesome. Let me stop recording.